All right, guys, we are recording. My name is Kayla Fox, and Lisa Fuller is like right over there on my screen. I don't know where she is on yours, but we are going to be leading this self-development Thursday Zoom meeting. And guys, I am beyond excited for this. One of the things in this industry that can hold you back so much is yourself. I mean, 9 out of 10 times whenever I was trying to hit a goal and I wasn't hitting it, it was something that I was doing to get into my own way. But also just working with other people over the last 8 years, whenever I would work one-on-one with them and we would try to kind of see what was going on, why they weren't hitting something, it was because they were getting in their own way, whether they were self-sabotaging themselves or things like that. So this Zoom, like the topics that we're going to cover and how we're really going to knock down this whole self-development realm, it is going to help you have so many breakthroughs. It's ridiculous. And the cool thing about self-development is even if it's something that you have done for years upon years, you can still have major breakthroughs. And it's those breakthroughs that take you to the next level. I have said so many times that you will not hit a rank until your mind gets there first. We've said so many times, like if you want to be a 200K, your actions better match it. Like your mind better already be there because you're not going to hit 200K until you believe that you're 200K. Like period. That's it. Like seriously. So whenever I was looking at self-development and some of the things that I would love to tackle on this Zoom, just really geared more towards our industry, because Mindset Monday, that was open to the public. So whenever I talked about limited beliefs and self-talk, it was geared towards just any and everything. Where if we take it for Thrive, for specifically Lavelle, and we open it up and talk about limited beliefs and negative self-talk, it's a whole different ballgame because we can be more specific. But not only that, people come into this and they just have a negative outlook. I mean, it can be something that's that simple, and it's like we've got to fix that outlook on things. You're a negative Nelly, a negative Nancy, whatever. And that's something that you can actually work on and change, and it can change your business. Or even having a fear of success. You hear us talk about so much about fear of failure. There's a fear of success too. And that has held people back. Being a procrastinator, bringing that into a business like this can hold people back. I mean, these are all topics that 100% we can tackle, we can unpack on this Zoom every Thursday night, just really diving in deep, going over different tools to help you get past it. Or maybe you're not a procrastinator, but sometimes you put things off. You can get better at being better at time management, I guess, with different tips we can bring. Maybe you're afraid of what others may think. I think that holds more people back in this industry than anything else, which kills me because, you know, we're so quick to be like, they're not paying your bills, but it still doesn't, I don't know. It's like some people will not hit the live button because they're so scared of what others may think. So that can be a topic we unpack. Maybe you have never had consistency in your life. And I'm telling you right now, in this business, if you talk to millionaires and you ask them for a tip, one of their biggest tips is going to be consistency. So if you struggle with consistency in your life and you always have, and here you are trying to launch a business, or here you are trying to go to that next rank to break through that next brick wall, and consistency is your struggle, it's going to be hard to do it because life is going to throw curveballs. It could be something as simple as poor relationship skills. Customer service, something else. If you talk to millionaires in the business and you ask them, how did you do it? They're going to say, awesome customer service. Make sure you have good customer service. But if you're trying to run your business and you don't have good relationship skills, and that doesn't mean you're a bad person. If you are not good at having conversation, if you're not good at small talk, if you're not good at building those kinds of relationships, it does not mean you're a bad person. But in this business, those skills can help you so much. And it's that kind of self-development of being like, you know what, maybe I can own that maybe I'm not a people person, but I can also own that I can be amazing at this business by learning this skill. So that kind of stuff. Coping methods when you fail. Knowing that when you fail, you don't just throw in the towel. Habits, going over good habits that you can have with this business, going over how to deal with shame and not letting that stop you in this business. And then law of attraction. Like, I can't wait till we open up that door. I really can't, because that is something that just has, you've heard us talk about dream boards, vision boards. You've heard us talk about affirmations. You've heard us talk about so much with law of attraction. But whenever we really open it up on a Zoom like this, where we can be raw, where we can be real, where we can have chat pulled up, where you can connect with other people on these hard topics, and we can help you break down those walls that's holding you back in your mind, guys, the growth and everything that can happen from that is just, it's massive. Like, massive. So whenever Lisa came to me and started talking about doing this Zoom, I was like, yes, this is what we need. And not one at 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, because that everybody's not a morning person. So this is more geared towards like anyone can hop on. It's a good time. We'll make sure they're recorded too, but just tackling these hard topics. So yeah, I am super excited. I'm going to turn it over to you for a minute, Lisa.
Yeah, I'm super excited because I don't know about you guys, but before I got into network marketing, I didn't even know what self-development was. Like, I was clueless. I was like, what do you mean? Like, I'm kind of like, nobody's ever asked me that before. Nobody's asked me what my goals are, my dreams are. Like, you didn't have goals and dreams when you waited tables and bartended, okay? You went to work 70 hours a week to pay your bills. And then when you weren't at work, you were either sleeping or enjoying your 5 seconds of peace, right? Like, you didn't have time to sit down and make a magical dream board of stuff that was never going to come true, or at least that's what you thought. And just mindset in general, like becoming a better human. I think a lot of people want to be a better human just in general. Like, we'd love to pay for somebody's food behind us. We'd love to donate our time here, but we don't have the time, right? We would love to give money to our favorite charity, but we don't even have an extra dime to pay for Christmas presents. We're barely paying for our own, right? And so I think a lot of people want to do these awesome things and want to be a better human, but they don't even have time to do it, the money to do it, much less think about it. They don't even know how to do it because they've never even, their whole life, they've never been trained that, right? I mean, most of us have been trained, you go to school, you go get a job, or you go to college and then you go get a job, and then that's what you do your whole life. You work to pay bills. Like, most people are just going to get by. And it was like so weird to me coming into this when people were telling me, write out your goals, make a vision board. I thought those things were just silly. I thought, that's silly. That sounds silly. I couldn't wrap my head around it. And speaking of law of attraction, the very first book I ever read, ever, it was in my first 6 months of joining network marketing, was The Secret by Rhonda Burns. And some people love that book, some people don't like it. Some people say, you're saying there's no God. No, that's not it at all. I mean, that's not how I take it. But what that book did is open me up to self-development. That was like my first dose of it. But self-development isn't just growing you inside. Well, it is all growing you inside, but it's different topics. So everybody's kind of in a different place on their self-development journey. I get, some of you might be in the beginning where I was 10 years ago, and you're just not grasping it. You're like, okay, what's the point? How are you saying, what do you mean making this vision board or writing out my goals is really going to make a difference in my business? Like, I didn't believe that. I thought, this is just hocus pocus you're throwing out there. Like, this is just a waste of time. Like, my mind wasn't there yet. I couldn't even understand or grasp that. And then some of you may be at a place where you grasp that, and now you're trying to be a better communicator. Maybe you're trying to be a better leader. Maybe you're trying to be better at, some of the things that Kayla talked about within ourselves. Like, are you lazy? Are you bad with time management? Are you an overachiever and you paralyze yourself because everything has to be just perfect or you don't do it? I mean, like, where are you? Because we're all different, and all of us are kind of on different self-development journeys. And, what I want, some of the weeks that Kayla and I do this, maybe you're going to be like, I already knew that. But for me, I need to hear things over and over, and the way people are doing it differently. And, we're going to kind of keep it broad, but just know that wherever you are on your self-development journey, keep moving. Don't stay stuck with someone else, because I notice that people will do that. They'll kind of go, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to read what Lisa's reading. Well, I read a lot of stuff on leadership, but you might not even have one person on your team yet. So, or you're trying to, you're not evolving anywhere else. You're kind of just staying in that one lane. And self-development is like, it's forever. Like, you're never done. Like, I will be self-developing now till the day I die, because I know how good it feels to be able to be better. Like, I look at the person that I was 10 years ago starting on this journey in network marketing to today, and I cannot believe the person that I see today. The person 10 years ago, I was late for everything. I was a hot mess express. I would lose everything all the time. You asked me to organize something and it was going to be a hot mess because it would not be organized, because I'm not an organized person. Like, I was just that definition of, I had never held down a job unless it was waiting tables or bartending. Like, I just didn't have like the record of, being responsible, right? I just would, if you would ask somebody in my family, I would be last on the responsibility list. Like, hey, have Lisa bring the milk, and I would show up with eggs instead or nothing at all. Like, I just couldn't get it together. And then the other thing about me was I don't know about you, Kayla, but one of the ways I've grown is I've grown as far as thick skin. I used to cry in the beginning of network marketing if someone didn't like me, or somebody said something mean, or if somebody at all would, I don't like the way you did that. And, if somebody would leave, I would cry. If somebody would yell at me, I mean, I would be a ball of mess. And now here we are 10 years later, and I have so much, I have thick skin now, like totally thick skin. Do things still upset me? Yes, but not to the point it used to. And then one of the other ways I've grown hugely is, I think, just in general, realizing that self-development is a journey that never ends, and there's always going to be something they throw at you. Like, I never believed in reading books about how to be a better mom. I don't know. I didn't have time for that. Now, I'm reading books on how to be a better dog mom. Like, I truly am. Okay. Like, it never ends. And I don't think we understand how truly blessed we are to be in an industry like this, because what other job, business, industry have you been in where somebody looks at you and asks you what your goals and dreams are, that tries to make you a better person, that wants you to be involved in figuring yourself out and becoming better, and being the best version of yourself? And am I still messy? Yes. Am I still late sometimes? Yes. But the improvement is crazy. I mean, there's no way, unless I would have gotten my stuff together, that I could be bringing $4 million in sales some months, having thousands of people under me. If I wouldn't have grown, there is just no way it would have gotten to this point, because I would have let people down. I would have not known how to handle certain situations with conflict resolution. That's another way to self-develop. I wouldn't have known, how to schedule everything out. Like, I had to change my entire self. And, I think it's so cliche. I know you guys have heard this. I'm sure you have, Kayla, where somebody says, I don't need to change. Like, if you don't like me the way I am, then that's just too bad for you. I feel sorry for anybody that says that. It truly shows you what kind of mindset you're in, because 10 years ago, that was my mindset. That 10 years ago, I was that person, like, you like me or leave me. I don't really care if you like me. Now I realize through self-development that it's my job to cater to other people, not them cater to me. For me to, and I think we should talk about color personalities one week, because I think that is so huge when it comes to self-development. But once you learn people's colors, when you learn about that, what you realize is they're not supposed to do what I'm supposed to do. If I want to get the most out of someone, I need to come to them. I need to meet them, right? Because they're not going to meet me yet. They're new. They're a customer, or they're just somebody that I just met. They don't know self-development yet. They haven't been down that road. I have. And so it's up to me to go to them. It's up to me to, figure out who they are as a person, what they expect, and meet those needs. And until we can get over ourselves, because like, I was that person that, I got nasty. I was road rage. I would just have bad days and take it out on somebody that called me on the phone to collect a bill. That's their job. Like, I was such a different person than I am today. And none of that would be possible. I could have stayed exactly the same 10 years later, or I could be in a completely different spot. And I know for me, and I kind of want to talk about this tonight, Kayla, is where do you start? Like, I didn't know where to start. 10 years ago, I was like, okay, I see what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but where do I start? And then where do I find these resources? And then like, I don't know, like I just felt so lost in the whole thing. And for me personally, I didn't hear about a gratitude journal till like maybe 5 years ago. Like that was not something I did right away. And now if I was gonna like approach somebody new, that's probably one of the first things I'd start having them do is something simple like a 5-minute journal or something.
Yeah, no, for sure on the gratitude journal, because whenever you learn, and this probably came from reading and listening, but whenever you, and a good podcast, I mean, I love just a really good podcast, but whenever you start learning what all gratitude can do for you, like you cannot be angry when you're grateful. You cannot be depressed when you're grateful. You cannot be anxious when you're grateful. I mean, like the list goes on and on. So just practicing gratitude is massive. Somebody said my hair looks great. Thanks, y'all. I got it done today.
It does. Kayla, I love it.
Thanks. But yeah, I mean, the gratitude journal 100% has changed the game for me. Just listing 5 things that I'm grateful for that happened in the last 24 hours. Whenever I first started practicing gratitude, it was like, I'm grateful for my husband, for my dog, for my daughter, for my mom, for my car. And now it's gotten more specific on things that happened in the last 24 hours. And I do it in the morning. And y'all, sometimes I'm sitting there with my pencil and I'm on number 2. And I'm like, I don't know. I do not know my second thing that I'm grateful for that happened in the last 24 hours. So sometimes it's hard, but if I don't know, it truly does. It sets my morning in motion. Also just controlling your morning. That's a whole different topic that changes the game for self-development.
My gosh. Yeah. I'm so glad you mentioned that.
Yeah. Just controlling your entire morning. But something else you mentioned, I'm writing stuff down, was having thick skin. Guys, we are told no so many times. Or for some of us, what's even worse is the just ignored messages. Or, people are hateful. Like they're just hateful to us. I don't know. Like it's part of the industry, I guess. But we have even people in our family hurt our feelings. Sometimes they're the first ones to do it. And just opening up about that and saying, you know what, we fail so many more times than you see us succeed. Right before this Zoom, I finally signed a customer. I've been claiming all day I was getting a customer in the system. Been working on it all day long. And I finally got one in and I was like, man, I'm so excited. And I yelled at my husband. I'm like, Chad, I got a customer in the system. But what y'all don't see is all the no's, all the ignored messages, all the not so good messages that happened before that one yes. We have to have thick skin, but it's that self-development and probably hearing no just a ton. I mean, we get up. We fall, but we get up so fast. And sometimes I think you just see our success from us getting back up stronger, getting back up better, and you don't see the fall and that part of it, when our PPA drops below 3, like that part of it. And so that's what's cool about kind of doing self-development with Thrivers, because it opens up a whole different door of business talk with self-development. So yeah, having thick skin is a huge part, and it can happen so fast. That's one of my other favorite things about self-development, because if you start practicing the gratitude journal, and let's say you do it for a week, or the brag sheet, which is something I've been talking about here recently, where you just make out all of your big wins. And I mean, you write them down. Like, congratulations, Kayla, you finished college, which was I was the first one in my family to do it. That's one of my big things. Awesome. Even though I don't use my degree and had a ton of student loans, whatever. Still something on my brag sheet. And just other things that I won at, I mean, you should see it. But I wrote it out and I read over it over and over again. It's things like that just help your self-development, help your confidence. And I mean, that's what this Zoom is going to do. And it's crazy how much it plays along with your business and growing your business too.
Yeah, I agree. And mastering your morning. I mean, if you're brand new, self-development for you is, you're just getting into the business and you kind of don't know what this all means yet, trying to get your head around it. I'm going to recommend, y'all, I have 5 of these, but definitely.
Oh, God.
a 5-minute journal. And you guys, these are like $20 on Amazon, but there's like 20 versions of these. Like you can get them cheaper, you can get them in paperback. And guys, I don't even want you to think you need to buy one of these. You don't have to buy this. You can literally, I'll screenshot you guys tonight, literally the page every day that you do. What I do like about the 5-minute journal though, is it explains to you what self-development is, why you're doing the things that you're doing in here. And it kind of gives you a really good basic introduction to self-development. So you understand it, so you're grasping it. But every single day you're doing the same exact thing. Every single day you are getting up in the morning and you are doing this little bit right here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's super simple. And then at night you do this. I'm talking this is 5 minutes. When they say 5 minutes, it's 5 minutes. But when you do this for 365 days, you may be rolling your eyes, y'all, but when you commit to this for 365 days, you start to believe what you're putting down. The universe, okay, I know I'm kind of going to law of attraction, but the universe is hearing you put these things out, because as you are writing them, as you are putting pen to paper, it's getting out there. You're thinking it, you're putting pen to paper, and every day you're doing the same thing and you're writing those words over and over again. The universe starts to believe that. You start to believe it. And it is amazing once you have that mind shit of doing some shit. I said that mind shit. That mind shift of doing something every day that takes you 5 stinking minutes. But what it does after, it reminds me of the book, The Compound Effect, by Darren Hardy. He talks about how the little things that you do over time make a difference. And we're always doing these things in our life and in our business. And that the most underestimated thing is self-development. You guys will go every other route before you dig into self-development. You will, you'll read books on how do I get more customers? How do I follow up better? But you're missing out on the biggest part of it all. 99% of your success in network marketing is belief in you, right? And how are you supposed to believe in other people when you don't even believe in yourself yet? That belief does not come until you start somewhere with that belief. And it's the last place people work. It is the last place people go to. How do I know that? Because it was the last place I went. It was the last place I went. It took me to get stuck, and instead of just, accepting defeat and saying, okay, maybe this is over, I said, no, what haven't I done? I need to do that. And that's what brought me into the world of self-development. And I can tell you there is no possible way I would be here. And like I said, it's always a journey, because I still get stuck in places. Like when I moved backwards, like last year wasn't the best year ever. And when I moved backwards in my business, I start to bring on those limiting beliefs I had in my old business. Oh no, it's going backwards. Oh crap, what if it's over? Oh no, I'm stuck. What if I can't get to that next level? Maybe I'm never going to be $100,000 a month earner consistently. Because now that I've tasted 100,000 paycheck in a week, you all, like not in a week, but in a whole month of pay, $100,000. Once you see that and know that you're capable of it, and know that if you did it, other people are too, like you chase that. And then when things start to go the other way, you wonder, okay, what's going on? Like I still have those limiting beliefs that I have to work on to know I am worth it. And I'm not just this waitress in Toledo, Ohio. I am that, but I'm so much more. And, doing little things by starting here. If I could have you guys do this, like, go get a notebook, 99 cents at the dollar store. Does not have to be this book. And every morning write down those 3 things you're grateful for and 3 things that you want to do to make today great. And then some daily affirmations about yourself. Affirmations like I am smart. I am beautiful. I am a rock star recruiter. I am the best follow-upper in the world, whatever. Like write down your I ams. And then at night before you go to bed, 3 amazing things that happened to you today. And then how could I have made today even better? That's it, guys. You do that every single day, morning and night for 365 days. Yeah, may you skip a day or a couple? Sure, that happens. I'm not telling you I haven't. I've left mine here when I've traveled and I've been like, crap. But after you do this, it's pretty easy to memorize. Grab a pad and a piece of paper in the hotel room. But try to do this. Try to prove to yourself that you can stick to something. Because just like I told you, that book, Compound Effects by Darren Hardy. You guys don't realize that all these little things you're doing for your self-development, for your business, for following up, the consistency. I know it feels like you're not getting somewhere sometimes. Oh my gosh, that's the worst feeling when you have been doing something for like 3 months and you've been trying to stay, keep your mind and head in the game, right? You're trying to believe that it's going to come and you're still not seeing any results. Our first inclination is we better stop and maybe do something different. Or because that's why most people quit network marketing in the first 3 months. When they don't see results, they're thinking, okay, this isn't working for me, on to the next. But most people don't start seeing results from their effort until they've been consistent for about 6 months. And that's every day. And so what you have to realize is to not quit, self-development comes in the picture, because when you hit these walls where you're wondering, gosh, is it ever going to happen? I've been doing the same thing that Kayla told me to do, or Lisa said to do, for the last 3 months, and I have not seen one new customer yet. If you're not self-developing, you're going to start doubting yourself. You're going to start putting bad things out in the universe. You're going to start thinking, maybe I'm not as good as them. Maybe it's not for me. Maybe, I thought I could do this, but now I can't. All limiting beliefs because you don't have belief in yourself yet. See, that's the thing, is that even though I struggle a little bit with my beliefs still, Kayla, I still never, that makes me go pick up a book. That makes me go, okay, I need to get my head in the game. But 10 years ago, that would have made me quit because I didn't know that I could change that thought process. I didn't realize it. And so we can't skip over the most important thing in this business, you guys, self-development. It is more important than anything else you'll do. I mean, don't get me wrong. You can't just self-develop all day, every day, and then not work your business at all and expect it to grow magically because you self-develop. But I will tell you that usually when I get with a promoter that says to me, and Kayla, you probably have found the same thing, you have somebody come to you and they say, I'm doing everything you're saying. I have been consistent for a year. I have followed up with people. I have done this, and they can prove it, right? I see them on all the Zooms. I'm taking their word for it that they're doing what they need to do, and they still have not grown. The one piece usually missing is the self-development. It's the one piece usually missing. And the crazy thing is that once they start adding in that piece, they start to see that growth, because, you can't change you. People can sense negativity. They can sense when you don't believe yourself. They can sense those things. So I don't know. It's just, I can't stress enough the importance of it.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, it happened today. Somebody was in my inbox and they're like, I just don't understand why I'm not seeing, something like some kind of progress. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And I mean, it comes back to what does your confidence level look like? Let me see your messages. And almost every time when I see their messages and see how they're wording things, you can tell the lack of confidence there. And it's not the lack of confidence in the products. It's lack of confidence in themselves. I will be talking to promoters that are like, man, I kill it at customers, but I don't kill it at being, enrolling promoters, because their confidence isn't there. That all comes back to self-development. Sometimes people, they're like, well, I don't know if I will be a good leader. And so I'm not making a team. I'm not enrolling promoters. Guys, like, you're missing the entire point here. Self-development can unlock all of that. And the thing is, for whenever I was first introduced to self-development, I had been in the industry for a year, and it was time to make vision boards. And I was like, I am not making a vision board. Like, I will put some pictures together on Pic Collage on my phone, and I'll put it up so people can be like, oh, Kayla made a vision board. But I'm not actually going to put time and energy and thought into it, because I just don't believe in that kind of stuff. So I didn't do one. Well, then my friend that did do one, she had an incredible year. And I was like, huh. So I did one the next year, and my business changed. So I'm saying all that to say this: even if everything you're hearing tonight, you're like, I don't know. Maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't. I just don't think here's the deal with self-talk. Whether you're saying, maybe I'm not good at this, maybe I'm not a good promoter, maybe I'm not good at enrolling customers, maybe I'm not whatever, that's just as powerful as you saying, I am a master recruiter. I am an incredible leader. I am worthy of being at the top of this company. Every unique quality about me is incredible, and I'm going to own every piece of it, because I deserve to be a millionaire just as much as anyone else. When you look on stage and you're like, I deserve to be walking that stage just as much as anyone else, that is just as powerful. And all that is self-development. I promise you, all that is self-development. So if you've been, and the whole point of you being on this Zoom right now is probably because maybe you've had some doubts, maybe you've had some worries. I can promise you, growing in self-development, just growing and owning every piece about you, stepping both feet into the arena instead of 1 foot in and 1 foot out, letting all the doubts go and just really growing on yourself and building that confidence, it will completely change your business. Completely change. It did mine. It completely changed.
You have to get a yes mindset, because our whole lives, you guys, we've been told no. We have a no mentality. From the time you were little, every time you touched something, your parents said no. Your teacher said no. Then when you said, I'm going to be a rock star, you can't do that. Only like 1% of people in the world make that. You know what I mean? You always have people in your ear bringing you back down to what they considered reality and the word no. And so now you're coming into a business where we're saying, yes, you can. You can. Like why can't you be Kayla Fox, but your own version of Kayla? Why can't you be Lisa Fuller, but your own version of Lisa? You can make the money that we're making. That is, as soon as you let go of the fact that that can be you, we all started at the same spot. I remember thinking, there's no way I could make that kind of money. And then when I got to $500, I'm like, there's no way I'll get to 1,000. And then when I got to 1,000, I'm like, there's no way I could see $10,000 a month. And then when I saw that, there's no way, like, this is it. This is as good as it's going to get. And it's so easy to, think, oh, they're just 1 in a million people that get there. That is not true. That's not true. When I came over here to Lavelle, and we have 30 people that have reached the top of the comp plan in under 3 years. Do you guys understand how ridiculous that is? That's ridiculous. And I know you're thinking, well, that's 30 out of thousands. No, you don't get it. The last company I came from, in 6.5 years, no one got to the top with me. I was the only one. I don't think you guys understand how special of an opportunity we have here. But not just that, let's talk about getting to 12K. That is life-changing. To have one of the biggest bills that come into your household taken out of I just don't even think about it anymore. And then to make about an extra $1,000 a month once you add all your paychecks together, you guys, that's an extra $12,000 a year plus getting your car paid for, or more. Add that to your salary now. How amazing is that? How incredible is that? Let's just say that that's the only place it ever went to, because that's where you're willing to put in the time, the energy, the effort. Isn't that an awesome place? I would never give that up in a million years. Not for the side gig, if you're looking at it like that helps people, that makes me feel good. Like, why would you not get out of your own way to do that? And I was just thinking about opening your mind and letting in other people, because I know that you don't understand that you can get there. I get it. I was there. Kayla was there. But we do know. We've done it. We live with ourselves every day. We know how unreliable we are. We know how many mistakes we've made in our life. We know what our past looked like. Trust us when we are telling you that if we did it, so can you. The only difference is that we decided that we had to start believing in ourselves. We decided we had to get out of our own ways and do uncomfortable things. And that's the other thing that self-development does for you too. It makes you step out of your comfort zone and do uncomfortable things, because once you start raising the belief level and you start realizing, like, maybe your thing is, I'm afraid to talk in front of people. That was one of mine. I remember one of the first books I read was on how to be able to get over the fear of public speaking. I mean, public speaking to me was speaking to more than 2 people at one time. That was public speaking to me. I was so scared. But I started reading some books, and I started practicing some of those exercises and stepping out of my comfort zone. And, the little wins that would happen, I'd go speak in front of 3 people, and then the next thing I would do a party of 5. And then it just started growing and growing and growing. And as I did each one of those things, I would go in scared to death, but I would leave with growing that belief level, right? That's going to happen naturally, because you realize you didn't die. It wasn't as bad as you thought. Nobody laughed at you. People actually were listening. And so over time, those things grew and grew and grew and grew. I I grew out of a comfort zone that I had no idea I could ever grow out of. Like, I thought that something I had struggled with for 36 years was never going to change. I thought I had social anxiety and the biggest fear of public speaking ever. And like I told you guys, public speaking to me was if there was 3 people in a room and they needed me to say something. I was like, nope, not happening. Like, it was so scary for me. And I thought at 36 years old, there's no way that I can change that. I have been this one way for 36 years. How is it possible for me to change that? You're all telling me you think I can go do this party, rap party. There's no way that I can do that. It is not happening. You're not changing someone that's been one way for 36 years and suddenly going to change that. How many of you, I want to see in the chat, how many of you are scared of something, or you're one way? Maybe you're messy, maybe you're unreliable, maybe you're not organized, maybe you're a neat freak and you have OCD. How many of you are a certain way in your mind and you've been that way your whole life and you truly believe you cannot change it? Because that's me. I believed I could not change it. I believe, Lisa, Kayla, I don't care what you two say. I don't care what book you throw at me. I don't care what audio I listen to. I don't care what training you throw at me. There is just no way. And I don't care how much money I make in Lavelle. There's no way I could go do a live video on Facebook. There's no way I could get up on a stage and speak at conference. There's no way that I can go up to a stranger at the grocery store and tell them about my DFT. Whatever it is. I don't know what it is for you. I promise you, I know that you can, because I did. And I'm positive that there's something Kayla's overcome, that she was one way until she joined this business, and that changed everything by self-development. Is it going to happen overnight? No. That is why self-development is done daily. What is that saying they say, Kayla? Network marketing is network marketing is a self-development plan, or with a
it's self-development with a compensation plan.
It is.
Yeah, no, it 100% is. And I mean, the thing is, for me, if y'all would have seen me 8 years ago, I was so shy. I spent my days with 8th graders and then my nights with my 1-year-old. So I had no friends. I had moved away from all of my college, from my high school. So I had absolutely no friends. My husband, for those that don't know my story, we were dealing with him being a horrible alcoholic. And so all of that ball game was going on. I was completely withdrawn because I was trying to paint a very pretty picture on the outside. So I wasn't letting anyone in. I had come up with all of these limited beliefs of why I would never be anything successful. And we had to break through, or I had to break through all of that. And the thing is I didn't do it alone. And here's what's so cool about this Zoom, or about, us doing this Zoom now. You can read a ton of books, and I do. I love a good self-development book. I love a good self-development podcast, but there's just something magical about coming on a Zoom and really focusing in on self-development with people that are in the trenches with you, that are going through the same battles with you, that can really talk about these same things that we're going through on one Zoom. Because maybe you have to read a book about public speaking, like a whole book, or maybe you have to read a whole book about leadership, where on here we can tackle it in one topic on a Thursday and really break that barrier down for you. So,
well, Kaylin, it might also be your past, because you guys, I had been in a lot of I had daddy issues because I didn't grow up without a dad, and I had gotten into a lot of relationships that were controlling, abusive, and those things made me knock me down and made me believe that I couldn't do what I'm doing today. And when you have a lifetime of these backgrounds, like, I don't know what your background is, guys, but I know we've all been through the shit. I know we have. There's nobody on here that's come unscathed through life and had it perfect. And you've got to realize that those things have to be fixed too. Like, it's ongoing. You have to look at those aspects too. And I think that, we're going to be able to touch on a lot of things. I think one of the things I was going to tell you we should do next week, Kayla, is maybe come with how to let go of our past that has nothing to do with network marketing, because it all ties in.
Yeah, no, I would 100% love that. And that's the cool thing, because for this first one, I was like, let's just talk about why self-development is so important. And then now whenever we go forward, we get to pick one topic for Thursday, and we get to just unpack it. And we're going to have chat pulled up, and we're going to be looking at, what are y'all feeling? We get to go off of each other. What we come from two completely different backgrounds. So you're going to get two completely different takes on these topics. I mean, so many breakthroughs can come from this, and it's going to tie 100% into your business, but it's going to tie into your life too. When you start to self-develop it, like, you become a better friend, a better mom, a better wife, a better husband, it's insane. And for some of you that's never tackled it, you're going to fall in love with it because you start feeling better. And it's little things, like it's learning to celebrate small wins. For some of you, y'all are waiting until like something massive happens, maybe till you become a millionaire to celebrate a win. Guys, did you not hear me right before the Zoom? I was yelling into the living room, telling my husband I signed a customer. Like, it doesn't matter I've gone 200K. It doesn't matter that, I've been in this for so long. I still celebrate every small win. You've got to learn to pat yourself on the back for those, because some of us, all we do is talk about all of our losses and how we dropped the ball and how we weren't good enough there. And no, like, we're going to learn how to celebrate the small wins. We're going to talk about, getting through. I would love to do the past. And just whenever you talked about comfort zones, I mean, anytime something makes me uncomfortable, I'm like, okay, yeah, let's do that. Like, because I know the moment that I do it, there's going to be growth that happens. And when growth happens, a comma usually follows it. I mean, it does. That's how this
look forward to stepping out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Like, even though I'm so scared and I feel the butterflies in my belly, they say that the feeling of, and I think I heard this on one of your morning Zooms, that the feeling of fear and being excited are the same feeling, right? Yeah. Like, it's how your mind is looking at it, because the feelings are the same, right? Yes. I love when you tell that one story about, you talk about how basically you tell the story on how that is. Like, they asked the athletes that were getting ready for, to go play a game or whatever, like, how do they feel? Then they asked somebody else how they felt, and the description was exactly the same. Somebody describing fear and somebody describing excitement.
Yeah, no, I mean, 100%. And it is. I mean, it really is just, it's all mindset, y'all. It truly is. And I mean, this whole Zoom just tonight, just kind of scratching the surface and explaining, how this is going to open up so many doors for you. Whenever you start looking at fear as excitement and you start chasing it, I mean, guys, like, that's a whole different ball game. But that's our goal, is to be able to help you do that and just kind of help you break down your own walls while we're breaking down ours. So yeah, I'm super excited about this.
I'm so excited. I challenge you guys to start somewhere. Just start somewhere, whether it's grabbing a piece of paper and a pen and just writing down your IAMs, and reading those every day, whether it's writing out your goal and, putting it on a sticky note and putting them around your house, like your next goal that you want to hit, or if it's just starting with a vision board. As silly as it may sound to you, it's pretty cool to bring your family in and have everybody help do that, because then when you can put it up somewhere in your house where you guys look every single day, then they are like, Mom, when are we going to go to Disneyland? And it reminds you, I got to get up and work this business. Like, I need to make time for this. Like, I got to stop making excuses. And it reminds yourself, like, I have goals, I have dreams, I have more than, there's more to this life that I want than what I'm getting right now. And it's just something as small as that, but you have to start somewhere, because, like I said, it's the last place people go. It's the last place they look when they aren't growing. It's, gosh, I'm following up with everybody. Gosh, I'm keeping in touch with my upline, and I'm getting in all the Zooms, and I'm getting in all the trainings, and I've been doing it. But the last place they look is, am I changing me?
Yeah, no, 100% agree. And I mean, that's the whole reason why this Zoom came about. It's just, we're ready to open up that door and say, you know what, we're going to give you exact tools on how to do it, exact tools on things that worked for us, coming from two completely different backgrounds. So there's no telling what all you're going to get from this, but we're going to pick a topic and we're going to unpack it. We're going to get through it. And yeah, like, I mean, it's going to be crazy to see just the breakthroughs and the growth that comes from this in so many different aspects. But tackling it from a business standpoint, it's also going to be really, really cool. Like owning your past, if you can get through those limited beliefs that I can guarantee you're still carrying around, I mean, that alone can help so much growth. So yeah, it's going to be a weekly thing. It's going to be awesome.
And if you guys have like a specific topic that you guys want us to tackle one week, dude, there's 52 weeks in a year. Okay, Kayla and I are good, but we're not that good. Okay. So if you have something that you're like, man, I would really love them to tackle this topic, or I would really love to know more about how to do this. You guys, obviously you just seen us talk almost 50 minutes just on what self-development is. We'll tear up one little topic. Don't you worry. We will tear it up. So, no matter how small to how big, you guys, it could be as simple as, I don't know, tying your shoes better. It doesn't matter. Write it down. No topic is stupid. And that's like my first challenge to you guys, to step out of your comfort zone. How many times do you wish that you would say something, suggest something, but you don't? Because you're scared. You're afraid that somebody's going to think that topic was stupid. You're afraid that, Kayla and I are going to go, what is that about? Like, these are the things that go in your head, right? And so you don't write it down. You're thinking that's a stupid topic. They probably don't want to cover that, or I don't want anybody to know about that. I challenge you guys to, in this, let Kayla, message Kayla or I. Say, can you put this on one of your weeks? Or can you write this down? Or, I want to suggest this. I'm challenging you guys to reach out to us, because we want to hear what you want to know. And I know I forget sometimes what it's like to be brand new. It's been 10 years. So to be brand spanking new and put my mind right back there, I can't think of all the things that I feared right now. I've done so much growth over the last 10 years that a lot of those fears have gone away for me, and I'm on to new ones that I forgot those like beginning ones. So let us know, what are those things, those hurdles personally and mentally that are holding you back?
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, we want to make this be where as you grow your team, because you're going to, like, even if you're not right now, as you grow in your confidence and you grow in your confidence of being a leader and growing a team, you'll start growing them. I want you to be able to plug them in on a Thursday and then be able to get as much out of it and be ready to go. Because guys, I promise you, it becomes like, whenever you feel how good self-development can make you feel, you're like, okay, I want more. I want more of that. Like, and it fills your cup. As a person in life, you have so many different things you're pouring into, whether it's kids, whether it's school, whether it's a job, whether it's a spouse, whether it's a dog, whether it's, whatever. Like, you have so many things you're pouring into, and you will get empty. This is a Zoom you can come on, and it's almost going to fill your cup, and you're going to leave here being like, okay, wait, like, I am pretty awesome. I can do all things. Like, let's go. And so, yeah, I'm excited for that part too.
I'm so excited. Like, this is my jam. Like, if I could just talk about self-development all day long, every day, I would, because that's how powerful it's been in my life. Like, I just can't imagine being where I am today without it. And I know I wouldn't be. Like, I know there's no way. And like you said at the beginning of this, Kayla, you have to you can't be a 200K until you can think like a 200K, right? Like, that's one of the things I would ask you. Like, if you've been kind of stuck where you are, maybe you've been a 4K, or maybe you haven't been 4K yet. Have you been thinking like a 4K? You think you're doing what a 4K would do? Make a list of what do I think a 200K does every day? You know what I mean? And then ask yourself, am I doing those things? Because I promise you, it is not easy, making $10,000 paychecks a week. There's a lot of work that goes into that. There's a lot of time and energy that goes into not just like what you see, but what you don't see behind the scenes, and a lot of self-development that has to happen too. So
yeah, I mean,
I'm so excited.
I'm too. One of my favorite things you said was the whole self-development with the compensation plan, because that truly is what this industry is. And so with us tackling self-development, and then we have the best compensation plan already. So whenever you self-develop, you like, it's insane. It's insane. And I don't care where you're at on your self-development journey, even me, at least, like, we're going to have breakthroughs. We're going to have those aha moments. We're going to have those, oh, maybe I am still carrying that from my past. Because just like she was just saying, if you haven't hit 4K, are you still thinking like you're the broke waitress? If that was part of your past, are you still claiming like that's the mentality that you're carrying around? Are you still carrying around the struggle of failing at so many things in life that you can't carry on a 4K title or 12K title or whatever, you know, and take on that title in your mind. So the growth that's going to come is going to be ridiculous.
Right. I love it. I'm excited.
All right, so I'm ready to wrap this up for the first, like, just scratching the surface about what self-development is. We told them to message one of us with ideas if you guys have ideas on what you would like us to tackle. But next week, we'll actually have our first topic. We'll announce it to you guys so you know what you're getting when you get on. And, yeah, it's going to be interesting coming from two completely different perspectives. So I'm excited for that.
When Kayla gives me the recording for this, I'll put it on the Dream Team, and I'll also ask for you to put any ideas you have below. You know, like we'll make a post or something. Ask them for your topics or ideas.
Such a good
idea.
idea.
So excited.
I am too.
Thanks,
okay.
Kayla.
Oh my gosh, thank you so
guys.
much.
If you're on here tonight, thanks for pouring into yourself. This is your first step to self-development.
Yes, celebrate the small win. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording, get it to you, and I will see you guys next Thursday.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Kayla. Thanks, guys.
Bye, y'all.